Hi there, thank you. As I said, my name's Rob, I work at Solar. Craig's going to tell you a bit later on about us and who we are and what we do. But for now, I just really want to get straight into this because analytics is such a massive subject. There's not really that much time, just 30 minutes. So I'm going to go now through and see if I can show you how you use analytics to make the most of your time. And just a quick look at what we're going to cover. I'm going to see why use Google Analytics, the visitor overview section, traffic sources and how to take advantage, the language and location plus adding foreign content, which Andy's touched on, browsers and mobile technology, keywords, your content, your exit and entrance pages, and tagging outbound links. Now, is there anyone who's unfamiliar with analytics at all, who's not using it or... No? Good. I like that. Because I know some people have seen it as a waste of time. That I know some people have been uninstalling it as well, removing it from their sites because they're not getting anything out of it. I think if that's what you're thinking, then you're not using it right. So hopefully we can sort that out now. If the laptop works. Okay, so just start right from the beginning. This should be something you all know now. So what does it do? You can monitor visitor behaviour, monitor your traffic levels and sources, track any goals, whatever the goal is, whether it's a click through to the merchant site, whether it's a sign up or a download. Gather information about the visitors, where they are and what they're using, what technology they're using. Find your best and worst pages. So if you've got your money-making pages, you need to build more traffic to them. If you've got any pages that's leaking traffic away from your site, you need to plug that leak. So just basically, as it says there, use it to make sure your site's working as you want it to. Technology malfunction. Okay, there's a question that's been asked quite a bit online lately. Will Google Analytics, will removing analytics affect your site rankings? It doesn't. I've seen it in the more niche forums as well, people asking this question. What is happening, we believe, is they're also uninstalling webmaster tools, which is controlling your geo-targeting. And that's affecting how you're targeted in which country you're targeting, along with your domain name country code. So the combination of the two, removing webmaster tools, will make your site appear to go up for a certain country.
Must be my PC, Rob.
Yeah. There we go. Okay, so visitor overview section, obviously familiar to everyone. It's the first thing you'll see when you log into analytics and click on whichever site you've decided to take a look at. You need, for these numbers to mean anything, they do need something to compare it to. So obviously, if you just click to compare it shows you the last 31 days by default. You can easily compare it to the previous 31 days just with 3 or 4 clicks. That gives you an idea how your site's progressing. So it's anyone who said that it takes a lot of time, analytics takes a lot of your time up studying the figures. It's only 4 clicks, and you can easily compare. These figures obviously aren't perfect because analytics can't track everything that happens. It just sits and waits for something to happen on your site. So obviously when a new visitor comes to your site, it looks for the cookie, see if it's there. If it isn't there, drops the cookie and counts as a unique visitor. A session lasts for 30 minutes on the site, so if anybody who's been on your site for more than 30 minutes without any activity then triggers analytics again, will count as another new visitor. Obviously, if they delete the cookie, they'll come back, count as another unique visitor. So, also, with the way the timestamps work, when somebody lands on a page, moves on to the second page, and it'll timestamp when they land on the first page, they move on to the second page, it'll count a timestamp. That's the difference on time of site in between, which is why a bounce, which is a one-page visit, always counts as 0 seconds. And we're going to look later on how to get a more true bounce rate from your site. So a bounce rate is a one-page visit. Generally, a low bounce rate is good. I think this example here shows what's a bounce rate of 57%. So obviously people are clicking on more than one page when they visit most of the time. But of course, if you've got that killer CTA, you've got that amazing piece of copy that's having people click through off your site, then the bounce rate's going to be higher, but it's going to be doing the job that you want. So that's all good. You can see with this example here, 6,500 visitors for that example. So that's obviously going to average out pretty much the stats for that site. Now go forward. Here we go. Right, traffic sources. Just going to show where your traffic's coming from. Obviously, direct traffic will start at the top. It's from an unknown source, so that's if anyone types into the URL straight in, or if they visit from a bookmark. If you click on the direct traffic section, it does show you which page those visitors are landing on, which is quite handy to know, because if it's a deeper page that they're landing on, it probably means there's something there that's quite interesting, and people are visiting it time and time again. Referral traffic is traffic from a source that analytics can trace to see where it's come from. So you can see which of your links that you've built are providing traffic to your site. Or maybe you've become part of a conversation in a forum. Maybe somebody's asked a question in some forum somewhere. Your site answers it, and you can see if they're coming back from that. So you can maybe join in that conversation. It might be a good source to build links or build a relationship with a blog owner. Maybe post a guest post so you can get some good links from monitored referral traffic. And obviously working in SEO, search traffic is most important for me, so I always compare the percentage of search traffic to the rest of the site. So 63%, quite happy with that. And just to see at the bottom there, in case there was any doubt, then most of the traffic does come from Google. So can anyone answer this? Where does visitors with the language ENUS from? USA? Nah, not really. It's one of those little quirks. The language is taken from your operating system on the computer, your preferred language that's set on the operating system on the computer. So you may have a lot of English US visitors, but they could basically just be anywhere with an English US laptop. So obviously most pre-built PCs come with English US. And just a bit further on, location language. You can see where your visitors are coming from. So this helps find any errors that you might be having if you're targeting a specific country. So this example here doesn't show up that great, but you can definitely see the UK there. This is a UK site, so we really want to see the UK as dark as possible. Obviously, that means the more visitors from that country. And then you can see the example there, the language at the bottom for that map is showing English US, so it's basically just a bit difficult to track that. The main point, though, is that we can see that people are coming from England. We can see that the top 3 languages there are English, which is good. But as Andy says, it's always good to branch out in your languages. I'm just going to, just slightly off topic from analytics, but keeping with the language section. Just adding foreign content. So in the example here, we're taking somebody who's maybe based in the UK with a UK domain who wants to add French content. You've got your 3 options there, subfolder, example.co.uk/fr. If you put your foreign content in a subfolder, that's good because it's cheap. It doesn't cost you anything to create the folder. You're keeping your domain authority, so any links you've already built to that domain, the juice will pass through. And the negative, it's a lower SERP click-through rate. Now, this is a study that some people have done, the people who have the time and money. They've tested this. They believe that because your domain name is still in a foreign language, people are a bit reluctant to click through there, so you might see a few less clicks from the SERPs. Second option, subdomain, fr.example.co.uk. That's the example there. So again, it's cheap. It doesn't cost anything to add a subdomain to your site, but it is treated as a separate site. So after you've paid for your content, you're going to need a completely new link building campaign to build up that site again. And then, so if you're going to have a full site, the best way to go would be to obviously buy the country's domain, example.fr there. It helps with country targeting. It's recognised as local. Downside is obviously after you've bought the domain, if you're going to do it right, get the proper hosting, get the French hosting for the French IP. So it's going to be quite expensive, but if it's the way to go and you are seeing the benefits of any foreign visitors, then that would definitely be the way to go. And which browser has the largest market share? That's IE, that's quite easy. There isn't going to be an update on the next Windows, I've heard, so IE 9 could soon be the biggest browser. Maybe Firefox, you never know. So for browsers and mobiles, it's quite important to test in all your browsers. There was somebody on the Morney's site last week or so saying the site didn't work in Chrome on any computer, so it's good that you find that out. So you need to check in as many browsers as possible just to make sure that your site's working. It's the same for users' resolutions because obviously you might have a really nice big monitor, they might have a tiny little laptop, and you're going to need to see what your site looks like under that resolution. So, I mean, you might have a headline on your site, looks like that, right across the page. When they come on with a smaller device, looks like that, doesn't give the same message. So maybe it's saying something completely different. I've put a URL there, browsersize.googlelabs.com, that overlays your site with several different resolutions, browser resolutions, so you can see the proportion of your site that's immediately seen by the visitor when they land on it. Same for mobiles. Test as much as you can. Obviously, I wouldn't expect everyone to go out and buy one of every mobile device as soon as it comes out. iPhone and Android's leading the way. If your site's got Flash and you're getting a lot of iPhone visitors, you are going to have a problem. There are emulators available just to help you check the usability and check the viewable screen size. So it helps you know that the site you've got already and your already existing content is going to give a good user experience. So it's good to keep your eye on that. Keywords. Blocked out. These show your site, people finding your site in Google, finding you with relevant searches, and relevant traffic should equal sales, we'd like to think. I know that content scrapers, people who are auto-generating content, do get a lot of random keyword searches from their, let's say it's stolen, sites that they've took from other places. And so, I mean, what can you get from the keyword section? Well, it helps you find new keywords for your site, as well as using the AdWords tool or YouTube or looking at competitor sites or however you find your keywords. Keywords lead to content ideas lead to creating new pages. I would say that if people are finding your site asking a question, just make sure you're answering that question on your site, maybe dedicate a page to it. Try and basically just widen your funnel, try and capture as many keywords as possible. And you also see which keywords are working for you by taking a look at the bounce rate and compared to the number of visitors. As I say again, we're going to look a bit later on about how we can get a more realistic bounce rate. But you might be able to find that a page that they're landing on for a certain keyword isn't relevant, or you've got an older page that's really good but isn't getting enough traffic. You can use the keyword section just to find out which keywords people are looking for, retarget an old page just by changing the title tag and meta description a little bit. It's worth experimenting if you've got an old page that isn't getting much traffic. And again, this should help you make better use of the content you've got already. Campaigns. That's better, campaigns. So these you can use campaigns to check the effectiveness of email marketing, offline marketing, and check your incoming links for any links that you've built. You do need to tag the link, like the example there. And the URL at the top, if you can Google Google UTM Builder, you'll find that this here that you can use to create a tagged link. And so building them simple, you just go to the link there, or let's say Google it. So enter your target website where it says website URL. Enter the source, referring source, so example, ezine or Squidoo or wherever you put in the link. In the medium, put either article, link, blog, anything to help you remember where the link is. And then just make the name unique. And obviously those links, after they're complete, they are quite big, quite long, quite ugly. A bit like me. But you can shorten the URL using Google URLs just to make it look cleaner. It's easier to use, like Andy said, with your offline marketing, if you've got a nice short link. Also, the Google URL shortener comes with stats. So it shows you your impressions for that link, which is good if you're using the links across article directories and find out which of those article directories are working for you, which source of your links are working. And you can view the campaign results in the campaign results section. And you can sort those by the source, by the medium, by the campaign, or sort them by any of each. And that just lets you know which of your links that you've built coming in are actually bringing you traffic if that's what you want them to do. Content. It's in your content section. If you click on the landing pages, it shows you how your pages are performing. So it lets you review your landing pages. And what you need to look at here is the bounce rate of people landing on a specific page and bouncing straight off it a lot. And just look at that page if they are, and just be honest with yourself. As, you know, why would I leave it if I landed on this page for a certain keyword? Why would I leave? Check the page load time. I mean, page load, the time it takes for the page to load is a minor ranking factor, but it's a major put off for visitors. So if it's going to take a few seconds to load up, they'll probably just click back and click on somebody else's. So check the page load time. Pretty much the same for your exit pages as well. Just ask yourself the same questions. It's not always bad though, because obviously it could be a confirmation page that they've signed up or they've downloaded whatever you want them to download. So it's not always a bad thing if they're leaving on a certain page. But just look at the page. Is the exit percentage too high? Again, be honest with yourself. If I visited this site, why would I leave? And check the page load time again. So it's just knowing your top entrance and top exit pages helps you understand your site better as a whole. There we go. That's the worst slide I've ever seen in any presentation ever. It's hard to make this one look good, but link tracking. Tracking your outbound traffic. This is really key. So you need to know when people are leaving, why they're leaving, where they're leaving from, and are they going where you want them to. So you can, obviously, if they click on a text link, whether they're clicking on a banner link, you'll be able to track that and see where they're going. So monitoring the goals, which you can set up, will help you understand where they're going and get you a truer bounce rate. So all you're doing, it's just that little bit of JavaScript in the middle, just there, where the red URL part is, you change that to whatever you need it to be. So for this example, I've got Fen375, just a link straight to their site. I've changed that URL to something, say, /outbound/Fen375, and that when that link is clicked on, JavaScript will track a page view to the URL that you've put in. So that URL needs to not exist. That's quite important. And also the analytics code needs to be placed before the tag, but your analytics code should be in the header anyway, so that shouldn't be that should be fine. There you go. So how many goals does anyone know how many goals each website profile can have? No, because they just changed it. So it was 16, but it's now, you can have 20 per website profile. So there's plenty of scope there to track whatever you want to track. These can be divided into 4 sets as well, so you can easily divide them up. Just looking at setting up goals so you can track where those links are coming from. In the goals section, you just you click on add a goal, and it brings up this screen here. So you can see the goal name. You can give that name whatever you want, just something so you can recognize the goal that you're tracking. The goal URL will need to be the same as the link that you made previously, the tagged link. So in this case, that would be /outbound/fen375. And URL destination should be a URL. Yeah, sorry. The goal type should be a URL, and then you put the just the header of the link in. You got to make sure that's correct, otherwise it messes the whole process up. You can add value to a click, which is always different because obviously all merchants have a different value, and what I prefer to do is put the lowest amount of commission you would get from that merchant, just to give that click a value, because obviously more merchants, different merchants are worth different amounts of money for their clicks. Just save and you're done. And the goals section, which you'll see here, shows goal completion URLs. It shows you which page they were completed on as well, so you can look at your pages, see if any pages are converting poorly, maybe change them. If you have any pages that are converting really high, then they might be a candidate for some of the PPC campaign, or just building more links just to get them higher up the rankings. What do you do for time? 10. Read this one slowly. Yeah, because that was it, actually. Rattle through it a bit quick. Yeah, so just to recap, use analytics to make sure your site works as you want it to. Remember that analytics does not penalise your site, but if you remove webmaster tools, it will look as if you've gained ranking from that, but it's probably just your country targeting changing. Use historic traffic data to help with future site changes, so have a look at what's been working, what hasn't, and you can annotate on the graph as well to see, so you can put a message in saying when something happened or when you made a change, and then see if there was a peak or a trough after that, see if it has any effect. Use referral traffic to source potential links, so anything bad or good being said about your site or anybody linking to your site, see if you can get some links off them. Use the map to help your country targeting. So if you've got, like Smile for You, if you're targeting the UK or the US version, you can make sure that you're connecting the right way. Consider your foreign language visitors, so maybe add a few pages into a subfolder or build a whole new site on a brand new, fresh foreign language domain. Test your browser's mobile devices, screen resolutions, make sure they're all working as well as you can. Use the emulators to see how they look. Monitor keywords for content ideas. So see if anybody's asking a question, make sure you're answering that question. See if there's any keywords you can build a new page around, just to, like I said, widen that search funnel, try and get as many people down to your site as possible. Track your outbound links, tag the links, track your inbound links, sorry. So tag those links, see where all your traffic's coming from. Any links you've built will be coming in, you can see where they're coming from. Monitor your entrance and exit traffic. Just see where those holes are, on your site, so you can plug that gap, stop people leaving, or at least leaving where you want them to leave. And your entrance traffic, to see if you can build those pages up that they're landing on. Track clicks away from your site, because obviously a bounce is a one-page visit, and you want to make sure that they're clicking onto your site, then onto the merchant, and that's a great way to find that out. and set up goals. Track those links that you've tagged up, always handy. That, unfortunately, was a bit quick, but there you go.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you.